Yo, what is up, Kings? I hope all is well. I wanted to quickly, now that we are a few days from the presidential election, I wanted to get into kind of where I think things stand a few days out, some of the key factors, and things of that nature. So without further ado, let's dive into this. Be sure to hit that subscribe button. Let's get this channel over the 1,000 sub mark. Like, comment, you guys know the drill. So when it comes to Trump, I think the biggest question mark is going to be whether traditional Christians, specifically straight white men Christians, but overall I would say traditional Christians, come out and vote for Trump. Because at the end of the day, every election is about how much you can rally and invigorate and motivate people to come out and vote for you. Because if it were just as simple as, well, there's more of them than there is of us, then a Republican would never win. Because there are more registered Democrats than there are Republicans. And of course, we know that that has not been the case. A Republican has won a few times, even with there being more Democrats nationally than there are Republicans. So, and the reason why I say that is because Trump in 2016, his campaign was very much socially conservative, socially Christian. Definitely with immigration, but he was a guy that I would say that was the main one, immigration, but he was a guy that did come out fairly strongly against things like suppression of speech, and things of that nature. Now that I'm thinking about it, Trump has never been a super socially conservative guy, but in 2016, he wasn't like openly advocating like he is in 2024 for having Vivek Ramaswamy go and talk to the gay population about why Republicans are good and they should vote for Republicans, and being gay and having gay marriage is totally acceptable. The only thing that's not is cutting off somebody's pee-pee, their kid's pee-pee, and especially when they're within adolescence and their children. The odd thing is, though, most socially conservative individuals know that one lends itself to the other. So it's not an either-or proposition, okay? Feminism and homosexuality lend itself to this kind of obstruction or destruction of gender norms and things of that nature. So it's going to be very interesting. Not only that, but he's basically been either not having his hand in the abortion conversation or fully saying that he supports women's rights, slightly less so than I would say a Democrat. You have seen at the Republican National Convention a Indian person come and do a Indian prayer of sorts. So this campaign is very plainly, very obviously not socially conservative, and it is not appealing to the socially conservative, socially Christian segment of his base, which is the main part of his base. And I have seen on Twitter tons of socially conservative individuals having major issues with how Trump has ran his campaign, some of the things that he has said and discussed. major issues. So that is going to be a huge thing to keep an eye on, is how many people he's able to hold on to that probably voted for him in 2016 and honestly probably even voted for him in 2020 that are of that socially conservative tilt in 2024. So yes, guys, I really do think that ultimately the biggest indicator regarding whether Trump wins is going to be how many people is he able to hold on to that are traditional Christian conservatives. And listen, I am one of those people, and I have not been the happiest with this Trump campaign. And I know I don't want to turn this into that, because that's been well documented on my channel. What I've said, I haven't shied away from stating my disagreements with the Trump campaign and how I think it's cooked and stuff like that. But I know that I've seen a lot of other traditional conservatives on Twitter that have been very vocal about this, kind of seeing the Trump campaign as socially liberal and realistically only conservative as far as like economics and foreign relations and things of that nature, which basically makes it a neoconservative campaign. So the other thing that the Trump campaign is doing, of course, is reaching out to some of these fringe groups and trying to pick up votes with them that maybe they haven't gotten in the past, trying to increase their percent of share. You know, the gay population, we saw Vivek Ramaswamy do that, drawing the line not at gay marriage, but of course at cutting off peepees, as if it doesn't lend itself, one doesn't lend itself to the other. And then, minority groups, having the Indian come at the Republican National Convention and do a prayer, of course, because J.D. Vance is married to Indian lady. So that is going to be something that is very interesting and something to keep an eye on as far as the Trump campaign goes, or the voting goes with regards to Trump. Right now, Trump is leading. He, according to the betting markets, he's up by about 4 to 5%. He's currently expected to win Nevada, Pennsylvania, Arizona, and Georgia. Expected to lose Wisconsin and Michigan. So, and again, I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that Trump has distanced himself from the traditional conservative, traditional Christian base, which in the Midwest, there are a lot of people that encompass that. Kamala, it's all going to come down to two things. One, how much is she able to really rally and motivate people to come out and vote for her, independents, and natural Democrats, for lack of a better way of saying it. And then, of course, how many people can she hold on to that were disenfranchised and discouraged by how she was given the nomination in the first place? Because if you remember, she did not actually win. It was Joe Biden that won. And Kamala was basically, by way of coup, supplanted Joe Biden for the Democratic nomination. So she is like the incumbent without being the actual incumbent. And a lot of people did not like that. It was dirty. It was in the gutter. And I have to say, I agree. I'm not surprised by it because I know how democracy works. I know how the modern system works. But nonetheless, it was dirty. So those are going to be the main things that determine who is going to win for both sides. Just to give you guys my analysis to wrap this up of who I think will win, all things being equal, and the election not being stolen and fraud going on, which, by the way, I definitely think is possible. For those of you who don't think it's possible, you're totally naive and have zero understanding of power dynamics, and things of that nature. Based on what I see out in my community, which is definitely not a conservative area, and what I've seen from the betting markets and, out and about, I would give it to Trump. I would say Trump is in the lead by the slimmest of margins. I think he's definitely the favorite to win. And to me, the biggest deciding factor overall of all the factors that I listed for Trump and for Kamala is going to be whether Kamala is able to rally her base and motivate people to get out and vote. And I'm not so sure that has been the case this election cycle. One thing Trump has done well is and maybe this is good. I mean, it's good insofar as it has suppressed motivating the other side from coming out in mass numbers. But, you look at 2016 and you look at now. 2016, while there was great support for Trump, there was also great displeasure with Trump. And so there was much more motivation for people to get out and vote against him. In 2024 now, and that was definitely the case in 2020 as well. 2024, it's still present, but not as much. I'm not sure that there is this mass disdain for Trump that there once was in having individuals come out and make sure that he is not the president of the United States. So I still think Trump is in the lead, and this is his election to lose. I wouldn't be surprised in the least at this point if he does lose for all the reasons that I've cited throughout my channel and all the videos I've done on it. This is not the 2016 campaign for Trump. If you think it is, you're sadly mistaken, and it might come back to bite Trump as it did in 2016 when Trump lost a huge portion of straight white male voters. He lost huge portions of Christian voters. It might be the same this election cycle. All right, guys, thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to smash that subscribe button, like, comment, share. You guys know the drill. And last but not least, DBAP, don't be a pussy willow in facts or feelings, because your feelings just matter. I love you, King. See you guys next time. Christ is King. Peace.